This is a clip from one of our recent live streams. We stream live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. As a reminder, this is our second channel, Fish the Moment Live. Our main channel, Fish the Moment, is where we have all of our highly edited YouTube content. We spend 30 to 40 hours a week producing one YouTube video that's posted on the Fish the Moment channel every Friday at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. These videos include on-the-water footage of us actually fishing, as well as detailed instruction on how to use electronics, fish offshore, and a lot of other great information. Make sure to check out the Fish the Moment channel if you enjoy the content on this channel. Is the Classic easier to qualify for than ever, or is it easier to win a Bassmaster Classic than ever before? And we're not trying to take away anything from Hank Cherry or any of the other guys out there, but I thought it was an interesting idea, and I don't have an opinion on this matter, guys. I have not been around the sport long enough to know. Never been in it, but Randy's been in it, and I want to give you a chance to respond to that, Randy, because I know that you had an opinion on that and wanted to get it out there.
Well, we were talking about that, and it's just, I have watched the Bassmasters Classic. I've fished in 9 Bassmasters Classics. I've been a student of the sport. I've seen it come and go. And the point what Johnny and I were talking about, and like I said, I'm not taking away from anybody that qualified for the Classic, but it's easier to qualify for the Classic and win the Classic now than it ever has been in the history of Bassmaster. Back when they had the Bassmaster Top 150s and the Bassmaster Top 100s and the Bassmaster Invitationals and that type of stuff, you were dealing with big fields. I mean, we had 150 plus anglers in them. Back when it was the Bassmaster Opens, you had 225 plus, and they only took the top 35. And now with the Elite Series, there's 80 some guys in the tournament, and they take the top 33 or something like that, or 35 out of the class, and then everything else is filled with other ones. So, and back in the 70s, they only took the top 24 to the Classic. So mathematically, it's easier to make the Classic than it has ever been. And on top of that, the talent level is dispersed so thick across the different circuits. You've got guns fishing MLF, you got guns fishing Bassmaster Opens, you got guns fishing the Toyota Series, the Big Five or whatever it is. So, and again, I'm not trying to diminish making the Classic, but you simply don't have the concentration of the top, who are truly the top anglers in one circuit like you used to. Years ago, everybody was just fishing bass. That's all there was. More people, less spots, so it was mathematically more difficult to qualify. And on top of that, the Bassmaster Classic, it's the easiest tournament to win of the year. I mean, you've got 50 guys, the same 50 guys you fished against all year long that were there when the tournaments were bigger. So mathematically, it's easier to make it. It's easier to qualify. So I thought that was an interesting study as far as the history of over 50 years of Bassmaster Classics, that we've come to the point where I feel it's easier to make it and win it than it ever has been. That being said, it's also more difficult to get into position to qualify for it, because you've got to qualify for the Elite Series, which is very difficult to qualify for. It's almost like winning the lottery. And once you get in there, it's very difficult to get out, because, there are exemptions and there's protections for the anglers that are in there. So it's not really a judgment on it. It's just sort of an analyzation of the reality behind it.
I think it's interesting. I don't know about the qualification. I know it's so hard to qualify through the Opens to get into the Elite Series in the first place and all that stuff. So I know that's challenging. So the barrier to entry to even get a chance to qualify consistently is very, very tough, I feel like. To your point, there's a smaller field with just as many entries, so I can see that. The one thing I really would always be interested to see, and I know this is probably never going to happen, but personally, I would just love to see all of the best anglers, kind of like they did with the Toyota Texas Bass back in the day when it was like the real deal, where they bring all the best anglers from all the different circuits and have them fish together. I think that would be awesome, and they do it in a way that it's like an 80 or 90 boat field. They bring the top 30 from each tour or whatever tours. I don't know how they would qualify. I'm not going to try to decide how this works, but I think it'd be cool to see all the best guys. Like take John Sukup from the NPFL, won 2 tournaments already this year, and take the top 5 from the National Professional Fishing League, take the guys from the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, take Spencer Sheffield over there, get these guys in here from all these different tours and let them go at it. And I think they'd be really cool to kind of see that. And even like if you could do a seeding thing where you fish for a couple days and then do kind of like a mega buck style where you fish one guy versus another on the same lake, same day, stuff like that. You can kind of like do a who can adapt better to conditions. I think you could make it really, really intriguing from a personality perspective, like getting guys competing one versus one like you and I do in our videos. Because like if you're on the same day on the same body of water and it's a restricted area, there is a guy who's going to make better decisions on that day and who's going to win. And I think that could be a really cool competitive way to do it. And I just think that there's some cool stuff that could be done. And I think that at some point that might happen with the future of fishing. But I think that at some point someone's going to put together like a mega tournament, do like a Sweet 16 bracket or something. I don't know. I could just see something being a lot more interesting than just kind of having it be like any other tournament just with a smaller field.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, though.
But one of the things that I've always felt the last couple of years is we will never know who the best bass anglers are in this country because everybody is so good now that there's simply no way to determine who's the best angler or who's the strongest circuit. Because let's look at the Bassmaster Classic right here. I don't care if you took 50 guys out of the Bassmaster Opens, the top 50 guys out of the Toyota Series, top 50 guys out of the Ozark Division BFL circuit, and you put them on Ray Roberts Lake, those 50 guys, the weights would still be similar. It's not like these guys in the Bassmasters Classic caught a bunch more fish than anybody else was. Everybody knows how to catch them, and the separation between what it takes to do well in the tournament, you can't even measure it. It's so tight. So, like I said, if there was a BFL tournament on Ray Roberts Lake that had 50 guys in it, I can promise you the weights would be almost identical to what the Bassmaster Classic were. That's just because the talent level is so competitive now and it's so high that we'll never know who the best anglers are because how do you even put a measure on who the best anglers are because anybody can beat anybody else on any given day in this sport.
Yeah. One thing that I don't know. This is. I'll leave us with this. I'm gonna throw something out there, and I want you guys to comment down below. Leave your comments in the chat. Maybe Randy, you can make a video about this because this is personally how I would like tournament fishing to be. I don't fish tournaments anymore because for a multitude of reasons that I've gone into before, but there's a lot of reasons. But the tournaments I would fish, if I was gonna fish a tournament, this is how I would want it to be. No practice, 8 hours of fishing. You can know what lake you're going to. You can research it. No help, obviously, but you can research that lake as much as you want. You can look at the water levels, all that stuff. But basically, you get to the lake that morning, no practice. You launch your boat, and you fish. And you catch your fish for that day. Then you go to a new lake the next day. You go to a brand new lake and you fish that lake and you go and you catch them. But your weights are carried over. So it's not like it's just a one-day deal where you can get lucky. You have to kind of like find a way that you go like 4 lakes, 4 different days. Not like Major League Fishing where they cancel the weights. Carry it over, do like a point system so you can get like to see who the most versatile angler is. Where you get like in that area, 4 lakes, 4 days. You don't get to fish the same spots. You have to learn and adapt every single day and learn it. That's how I fish personally, so I like that for me because I like to just go to a lake and just find the fish and figure them out that day. I don't have to have a honey hole I stumbled on and got lucky onto. It's actually fishing the moment, fishing the conditions, adapting. Who can do that the best day in, day out? If you could find like a small area where you get 4 lakes close by, run all those lakes, I think that would be like the ultimate deal. And everyone could stay in the same area. Like let's say, for example, you're staying in Arkansas where I am. You could go Table Rock Lake one day, Beaver Lake another day, Grand Lake the next day. 3-day tournament, 3 different lakes, 3 tournament lakes, boom, 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 boom. Go fish them. That would be how I would want to tournament fish. I think that would be really, really cool. If you enjoy our videos and want more help finding bass on your home lake, head to our website, fishthemoment.com, then head to the Lake Breakdowns page. Here we offer lake breakdowns that give you 40 GPS waypoints that you can transfer straight to your fish finder on lakes all across the country. We give you detailed area descriptions, a summary of the lake, and a step-by-step guide on how to download the waypoints to your fish finder. These waypoints are picked out by professional angler Randy Blockett. We have breakdowns on lakes all across the country, broken up by season. If you can't find your lake among the list of lakes available here, We also offer personalized lake breakdowns where you can have your specific lake broken down if it's not already available. Check out our lake breakdowns on fishthemoment.com.
That would definitely be that would definitely determine who the best anglers were. There's no doubt, especially if you could have some type of a level field on equipment. But there's no way that I think you could argue with that. If you had like a 6 or 8 tournament series, just like what you talked about, no practice, the only rules that were is what the state laws were. That's a good idea. It is.
I would fish that in a heartbeat because, one, I hate going out and driving my boat and trying to find fish for 3 or 4 days of practice. I feel like that's wasting my time. I hate going and practice fishing because that's just like, I feel like I'm just wasting time. I don't know. I just don't like that whole concept of like practicing. If I was going to fish tournaments now, I'd have to waste a whole day of my business just driving the boat around and like graphing and looking and like, I mean, yeah, it helps me catch more fish. You have to do it, or you have to go plant brush piles ahead of time, or do all this crazy stuff to win local tournaments. I just want to show up day of the tournament, fish the conditions, adapt, and things like that. And if I do that in a tournament locally, I'm going to not do well half the time because I just don't know where the fish are. I have to spend my day learning and figuring it out. But that's what you see us do in our challenge videos, guys. That's what's so fun about those. Randy and I, when we did that swim bait video, we had no idea where the fish were, what they were doing. We were just making our best decisions, and Randy still caught 16 pounds that day, and on that day, he was the better fisherman than me. And it wasn't because he knew the best spots or the best areas. It's because of his instincts, his intuition, all that stuff. So that would be my way of doing a tournament. Maybe one day we'll do that, Randy. Get some people together and do a tournament like that, like a 3-day event. Bring all the best pros in. If anyone in the comments wants to put up like $1 million or something to promote it, that would be great. That's the only way we would probably get any of these pros to actually do it. But I don't know. If anyone wants to take that idea, go for it. That is my gift to anyone listening to this podcast. My idea of how to fix tournament bass fishing and how to make it actually interesting for me.
Yeah, if I ever win the Mega Millions, I'll take you up on that, Johnny, and sponsor it for you.
Okay, yeah. And if any multi-billionaires are listening, just hit me up, info@fishthemoment.com. I'll give you all the deets on how they can make that tournament. I'll give you all the info on how to make that tournament awesome. I can tell you the format, all that stuff. That's what I want from a tournament. Anyways,
maybe Johnny Morris is listening right now. That'd be cool.
Sure, for sure. Well, and it says one question is then whoever's the best technique on that lake will win that lake. That's perfect. But if you fish 4 lakes, like for example, you fish Grand Lake and it's shallow and muddy, then you go to Table Rock Lake and it's deep or clear, then you go to Beaver Lake. All those lakes are very different, so one guy's not going to dominate on every single lake. There might be a high in the bushes one tournament, offshore another tournament, and then you have to catch them on a topwater or in between another tournament. You got to, adapt and shift and change. There's ways to do it. We could pick some lakes that make it a deal. Or like if you're up north, go to a smallmouth lake with rock piles and stuff the first day. Next day, go to a grassy hydrilla lake where you have to go flip deep grass and then have a lake in between. It could happen. It could really happen. But anyways, that is it. John says only $1 million, say no more. Okay, John, I'm waiting for that $1 million. We got this. Good deal. Well, anyways, guys, that is it for this live stream. I was a little bit of a mess today. I apologize for my rants. It only went downhill after the first 45 minutes. Again, huge shout out to our first official sponsor of the podcast, Bridgeford Foods. Thank you so much for the support. We're able to actually monetize the podcast after 93 episodes. It only took 120 hours of podcasting and live streaming to get a sponsor. So there we go. We got it. Definitely check out Bridgeford Foods, guys. Support them. They support the fishing industry. They support Randy and myself. Really helps us out. And if you do leave a comment down below with your best Bassmaster Classic moment or your best Fish the Moment moment of Fish the Moment moment of 2021, you'll be entered to win a case of beef jerky that's shipped straight to your house. So definitely check that out. So anyways, Randy, anything else to say before we sign off?
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. No, it's a nice summer evening out. I really appreciate you guys taking an hour or so out of your evening, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week too.
Yeah, thanks a bunch, guys, and we'll see you guys next week, same time, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and you'll see us in some new videos coming up. I got a really good one coming up this Friday, so definitely check it out on the main Fish the Moment channel. Have a great night. Thanks for checking out the video. If you made it this far, we'd really appreciate if you left a like on the video. It helps us out with the YouTube algorithm and gets these videos out to more people. Also consider subscribing. It's free and it lets you get notifications of every single one of our videos that we upload daily. Finally, remember to check out the main Fish the Moment channel, where we actually have on-the-water fishing footage as well as detailed graphics on electronics, offshore fishing, bass behavior, and a lot of other great information. Thanks for checking out the video, and we'll see you on the next one.